Okay. Um, so today I want to go through just a couple items. The first one is the plan for supporting Lollipop. The other one is what are we going to do when we collect all this stat trace information, and what is the workflow on triaging those issues. So right now mUzima works well for Android 2.2 to 4.4. Versions higher than 4.4 currently is not working. I think that is one of the reasons Marty encountered when he tried to after he installed the latest APK, after he logged in, the app just crashed. So I wonder if you guys have any suggestions how we can have a work plan to support 4.4 and above.
So, Ida, yesterday you mentioned that there was a crash on API 21, which is I think Android 5.0.
Shweta, is it
Could you hear
possible?
me?
Is it possible to talk closer to the mic? As it seems like it's muffling.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, much better.
Okay. So, with Acrylizer, and also because you brought it to my notice that there is a bug on Android 5.0, I actually could take a look at the stack trace. But definitely one thing when I was actually debugging it is sometimes there may be situations where you don't know how the user got to that particular page. So I feel that whatever information is there on Acrylizer is very useful, but it would be more helpful if we somehow like I think the way we are doing it right now is someone tests it out and let's say they see an issue like the way you got there was an error loading data from the local repo. So you kind of listed the steps that you took or how you were using it when that particular error actually showed up. So that part of information is also important for us to kind of make, when we're testing it to see if it's just a one-off thing or it happens again or even if it's happening at all. I think the steps that is required to actually get the error to show up is just as important as the stack trace. What are your thoughts on that? What I'm saying is, I think you still have to do a bit of like bug reporting and things like that. Which it's not. I don't think just Acrylizer would be sufficient.
So do you think that we should kind of revise um, the protocol? Let's say that when the user encounter a crash, they should go immediately to file a ticket and list out the steps. Also include the data, I guess, so that it can match the stat trace information that we collected.
So that is one way of doing it, but like I'm not sure if the user actually knows at that point of time it was really an error, unless it's like in your case you saw it happen repeatedly before you actually filed the bug report, right? And like there could be so many reasons, like maybe the user is not connected to the internet, or I'm not sure when it would be a real error. But I think it's a great step ahead. Like, for example, even with Google Nexus, I mean, the Lollipop Android version, the Lollipop, like you said, there is an issue, but I can clearly see the stack trace and it tells you where it happened. So it's definitely helpful, but I don't think we could totally get rid of bug report making. Or there's another feature that we could explore in Acrolyzer itself. Right now, the way the reports are being submitted, like whenever there's an error or a crash, a toast pops up to tell the user, oh, there's been a crash, and the crash report will be sent to the team, to the mUzima team. Another way of doing that is there is a way where the user gets a kind of a dialog box where he he can enter some information. Like for example, it probably just pop up something and you can you're testing something and say, hey, I was testing it this way and I run into this issue and then you say, okay. So it will collect whatever comments that you enter as well as the stack trace and other information like the device information and the time when it happened and things like that and send it. So that could possibly be another way of collecting more useful information.
So you mean like when there's a crash report and then it pop up for the user to enter additional information and send it along with the stat trace?
That's correct.
Yeah, I think that might be a better workflow. And
Yeah, but the only problem is, okay, this is more of a usability thing because most of the Android apps that I've seen that being tested over here, we've actually made it a silent reporting, so the user doesn't even know that the crash report is being sent, right? That's because we don't want to give the control to the user. Like if the user chooses to say cancel, I don't want to send a report, then you'll never get that. So there is a chance that the user can cancel sending the report. So as long as we keep that in mind, we can continue to do that.
yeah, so my concern is that when let's say that there's a pop-up box and then ask the user to enter information, sometimes the information might be quite long to enter. Or like would the user be able to type all this like let's say 5 steps or something like that on the dialog box? That's my only concern.
And I'm not sure if you remember, but before we started looking into error reporting and crash reporting, there was this other tool that I was talking about called test query that Kumaran had suggested. So test query has an option of actually recording what the user was doing. Like it's an actual recording of what was happening in the device, a video recording that caused the app to crash. So that's another way where we could get more information about. So we don't have to wonder about, oh, which page were they on and what were they doing? Were they clicking on it? Were they dragging stuff? Were they clicking really fast or were they clicking slow? So this kind of you're actually seeing it happen, right? So it's easier for you to do the same thing on your emulator or your device to recreate the error, along with getting the whole stack trace and the information about where and why and how.
Uh-huh.
But that feature unfortunately is not there in Actimizer today. So I think for starters, I think it's better than having no error reporting at all. I think getting Actimizer up is a good thing because I don't know, I found the blog to be helpful. The only thing is how much time do we actually spend when looking at the log? And like I said, sometimes if we don't do usability thing like ventilation being turned off, that could cause an error. Things like that. So I'm not. My feel on this is that I don't think it'll be perfect right now, but over time, maybe in the next 1 or 2 months, as we get more comfortable with using Actimizer and seeing how the patterns and how the users are using it and how often error reports are being generated and submitted to Acra, we can actually think of customizing it more.
So
But
yeah.
I think with this setup, I don't think it's gotten to that stage of being so automatic that we don't need any kind of user input. I don't think that would be a good idea because we may be spending a lot of time on bugs that were not really an issue. or we may be taking a lot of time to actually reproduce the error without knowing how did the user, what was the user doing on the app that caused this error to happen.
So would that be a better approach that when a crash happens, it have a pop-up, and then the user can choose either to enter additional information? If yes, um, it will send the stats trace along with the additional information. If it's no, it just not to send additional information, but also but still continue to send the crash the stats trace. Would that be possible?
No, unfortunately, ACRA only has four modes of submitting the report. The first one is you just silently report it without telling the user, and that continues to function the way it was supposed to be without the user knowing that there was some kind of error that was happening in the background. Second one is a closed, and the third one is actually where the reports are not sent right away, but they're actually kind of stored on the local device. But you know how we have a notification bar on the top where you see the date and the time? So over there, you'll actually see some kind of icon which says that you have error reports, and the user can then choose to send it when he actually clicks on the notification bar and then send all these error reports. And the fourth option is where there's a dialog box where the user can enter additional comments, like maybe like this is Derek, the one way, and I'm seeing this issue and then he submits it. So I'll probably know, okay, this area is from Delhi, so I can probably reach out to him on email or however is comfortable to see what is he doing. If I cannot reproduce it or if I cannot recreate the error on my own and if it's not obvious to me by looking at the stack trace how he came upon this error, then I'll probably reach out.
Uh-huh. Um, how about that? Is it possible for you to list out all these options and then send it through the mUzima dev listserv? And then we ask the team to vote which one maybe we should try first.
Yes, I can do that. To the mUzima dev group, that's where you want to
Say it one more time.
to the mUzima dev groups, is that
Yes,
where
the Google group. Yeah. So when we're just talking about what is the better workflow to do with the stat trace information that we collect. So Sridhar gave us like a few options, and they all have like pros and cons. And then so I just asked Sridhar to share those options with the stuff, and then we can vote on those.
so option three where there's the reports are not sent out until the user manually goes and clicks on the notification bar and says that I'm ready to submit all the error reports that I have, is actually really useful in situations where the user has a data plan which doesn't allow him to constantly be connected to the internet and constantly be able to send error reports because it's a lot of data that they're sending. So they can actually choose to only do it when they're probably connected to the Wi-Fi. So that way they don't get charged a lot of money. So yeah, you're right, Ada. There's a lot of pros and cons. So I think it's a good idea to actually send it out to the groups. But it will also be, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong because I'm not really sure about how it's being deployed on the field. But maybe it would be helpful to also get, because I know the developers are going to be the people who are going to be reading all this information that gets submitted by the error report and acting on it. But we should also take the testers or the healthcare providers who are actually using the app to see what is, how do we, what would be the best way for them to submit so that it's not such a pain that they will choose to say, oh, because I do that every time my browser crashes on my computer and they say, do you want to send a crash report to Firefox? I usually say no because it takes such a long time for the crash report to go through, right? So we should probably, maybe not all of the healthcare providers and not all of the people who are testing the app, maybe one or two of them who are very, who've been testing the app long enough to see how fast it is and things like that. Maybe we could get their report to see that what is the best way they would think uh, would be to submit an error report.
Yeah, my feel is that for our implementers who are also provide the training, they would be the one that who would be able to provide more information, and the steps um, for the crash. But like for the actual users on the field, I would doubt they would enter anything. If they enter something, it might not means much for the developers actually, because a lot of time the information they share is not really clear. It end up not to be very helpful. So that's what my experience dealing with the teams.
So we do have a team that tests it internally, right? Like
Yeah,
we actually will.
we have a team of people who help us to do testings, and those people will be able to provide better descriptions.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea, right? So I think it would be a good idea to at least get one of them to let's to hear what they would say would be the best way to tap for them to send out information without it being something which really is bothersome. So because we're actually kind of banking on them to send it to us. If we don't make it easy enough for them to send it to us, they may not end up sending it at all.
Okay. So that is one part of the workflow with the stat trace. I think the other part of the workflow is, should we assign someone to look at the stat trace on a daily basis so that relevant tickets will be created and sufficient information would be included in the ticket. Because we don't want to end up with like a lot of stat trace information, but they were not being taken care of.
Right. I see your concern here. So yeah, this comes down to like I don't know, like it
So
probably could be someone like we could take turns, like probably instead of one person doing it all the time, we could start doing this. So maybe we could take turns and maybe for 1 week one person just to sit all of
yeah,
and see if there's anything new or if there's something happening that should be really looked at immediately, then probably they could flag it as an error and something uh, honestly bad. And maybe we could all take turns and say that this week this person is going to look at actualizer logs and see what's happening.
sure. I think that's a good idea to take turns. So like for example, if Frida, you take care of it this week, and then you inform the next person that, hey, after today is your turn to to take over or something like that, and then we can rotate.
Yeah. Because I think it would get too overwhelming for just one person to look at that every day. And so, yeah, but whoever is on the actualizer duty for that week would probably take time to just spend maybe like 15 to 20 minutes a day. So how much time should that person actually put in today? Like try to do, because a lot of times like this is the stack place, and then you're like trying to see. So the stack trace is really helpful for the developer, but for someone who's going to be evaluating whether this is a genuine error, they will definitely have to at least try to recreate it, right? So that takes time. Like if you get 20 or 30 errors a day, you have to probably look at each of them and try to make it happen again. And it takes time. So what I'm trying to say is It's a lot of work for one person to be doing. So how do we get around that?
Uh-huh. Yeah. So, hey, Simon, I just wonder if you have any feedback or suggestions. Simon?
Um, okay, I kind of agree that rotational basis for us to be able to handle to look at the start traces. Um, I believe that if we give each person every, that would be the best way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also I think as the developer who's in charge of, triaging those stack trace issues, um, you guys should be able to tell which one is critical and need to get immediate attention and which one is not as critical that can be wait. Is it a good assumption? Anyone? Because I'm sure like some of the issues are more like a major blocker than the others. So what I'm trying to say is that the developer who is in charge of, triaging those stat trace information should be able to tell that, hey, all of these 7 issues, this one is very critical, and it needs someone to immediately to work on it. Would that be a safe assumption?
I think one way we can be able to tell is to look at the frequency of similar issues. Maybe we look at this one came from which device, and if we can count how many, then you could it could be one way to inform whether it's severe or not.
Mm-hmm. So right now, when you look at that page, so you can kind of tell that users keep trying to do the same actions, I guess, and that's why the same messages keep being sent. It's really like for example, look at can you guys look at this link? Maybe I just share the screen. Can you see the screen now? So it's kind of consistent when you look at this Nessus 5, the 3 entry of the stat trace obviously is come from the same user trying to take the same actions 3 times. That's why because the crash happened and then tried 2 more times. I mean the same thing for the Samsung device.
Data?
Yes.
That was just me. I was trying to do some testing, right? That's the other thing. Right now, I think we could. I don't know if there's a way where we could turn it off when we're testing or we're doing development because we don't want to look at bugs which we knew were going to happen. Like for example, I was testing the whole day, so that's why it's racked up so many errors. These are not like errors from real users. But yeah, there should be a way to distinguish the two. So maybe we should give the comments and the dialogue box a try and see.
Okay. Yeah. So let's see here. And I wonder if on the column for how long ago it happened, would that be more helpful to have like a date timestamp instead of like saying that how many hours or days ago? Or I just curious like which one worked better for you guys?
Ida, can you please repeat your question? We couldn't hear you clearly.
Say it one more time, Shita.
We couldn't hear you. Can you please repeat your question?
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, your mic is working. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
finally.
Finally. No, I think, I mean, I agree with what Sweeta typed earlier, that I think we can do some um, update on the issue on Accra during our daily stand-up, just to see what's going on. And I think based on the frequency, we can give a better priority to like urgent stuff, and we could see like um, who will be our audience most likely. For example, even if the Nexus 5 happens a lot, but if we know that not that many of our users will use Nexus 5, we can um, lower down the priority for that one when there's other bugs coming from device that currently being used by the implementers. I think that is something that we can consider.
Yeah, I just want to find a way to categorize the issues and which ones should be worked on first.
Yeah. But I think it's really nice. I mean, the report is giving a full view of what's going on with the device, like what device they're using, the full stack trace. That's definitely going to help us. The other thing that I was wondering if we can find out is, I think Martin asked me about this yesterday. What's gonna happen if the user is offline? Are they gonna be able to postpone the submission when they get internet connection, or are we gonna lose that bug report or something like that?
That's a good question. Actually, I haven't tried it out, but I will test it and see what really happens. I think
Okay.
most likely it won't send it unless Accra has some kind of query going on. So let me just give it a quick test and I'll email that as well along with the options. So how
Yay.
Sounds good.
So I'm not sure if you guys have took me some time to get used to the Accra UI, but if you see the small magnifying glass in the left hand corner, if you actually click on that, it changes into a star shape, and then you have to scroll down and just scroll to the that wasn't very obvious to me. If you didn't know that, that's how you get a more detailed view of an error report. So you click on the list on the magnifying glass. Yeah. And then you,
I think this is very, very nice for that. Okay. So I think we can't have like so I think the to-do item for this one is Rita's going to share some of the options of us through the list step, and then we can decide which workflow that we choose. And then the next thing is we need developers to volunteer to take turns to be the primary person to triage those issues, and then we can discuss, just like Win suggests, maybe we can um, discuss doing the Scrum just for prioritization purpose. And is there anything else that I missed? Okay, good. So I think the next thing is really to talk about what actions we need to take in order to support 4.4 and above, um, and what do we need? What's the work plan for that? And because as you know, more and more devices they install higher version of the Android, and I think we need to support that, like Lollipop.
Yeah, I think the major changes that I see is the way the HTTP connection is done. So it probably got to do with how Lollipop build the HTTP connection or how they use the HTTP connection library. So we need to have a look at that one. I think other than that, I'm hoping it's gonna be pretty similar. And when we look at it, I think supporting a higher version of Android probably going to be easier than trying to support older version of Android, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
So so maybe I will file a ticket on that, and then you guys can comment, add the information which part we need to look at or make changes for testing.
Yeah, we can try to create a Lollipop, what is it called? Emulator. I think that's the only way because we don't have Lollipop yet.
So, just a quick suggestion here. Actually, we use Jenny Motion. Do you guys do the same thing for emulating your mobile device? Hello?
And Shweta, what do you say?
We use Jenny Motion over here. It's um, it's an emulator for Android. Have you guys ever tried it?
No, not me. Is it better than the regular emulator, Twitter? I always use the whatever emulator they give us.
It's amazing. It's like lightning fast compared to the Android emulator, and that's what I've been using. And it's really good because actually I can just do a quick screen share of how we. So once you install Jellymotion, it has all the APIs and the mobile devices. Like for example, if you want to test on a Google Nexus 4 with dimension whatever X, Y, Y, and you want to test with API 17 or API 18 or 19, you can actually create those virtual devices and you just keep like creating how many ever you need and you test with whichever one you want. So I'm just going to just show you how we have that for that.
Hmm. Maybe we could use Genymotion then.
It's really fast, Will. I mean, if that's my development time, it's fast.
Oh, I can give you a statistic. Put that in the
Yeah.
that development.
Okay.
So, can you see?
Can you guys see the motion window? Okay, motion. Ada, Win, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
So this is Jenny Motion, and these are the devices that I've created. So I can just go here and say, I want to test with Google Nexus API 18. and then I say next, and then it downloads the image for this particular virtual device, and then you just launch it after that and you test it, and it's really fast. Can you guys see this?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So personally, we've been using Jellymotion here because we found it to be faster and it's much easier to maintain and keep track of all the combinations of the device and the API and the size of the screen and things like that. So it's made testing for us really easier. So if you guys like, you could give that a try.
Okay. So so for the installation, let's say that when you use the JMotion, so it doesn't matter. So like you just install mUzima once, and then but when you pick different combination of the devices or Android version, it will still works.
Yes.
Sounds good. And is there any other topic or issues that you guys want to discuss or become blocker? And also, I think we need to talk about the holiday week, which is I think next week, and so to see like who will be taking time off and who will be super available.
I'm sorry, Ina, did you just say that you want to just discuss the availability of people during the holiday week?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Kumaran is going to be off on Friday, the 26th of December. Vikas is going to be available through the holiday time. I will be gone on the 26th and the 30th,
Mm-hmm.
29th.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back. I think I'm gone for like 2 days, and I'm back on 31st. That's Wednesday morning.
Mm-hmm.
We will send an email out to you about. But most other, I think I'm the only one who's taking about 3 days off. Komoran is going to be taking a single day off, and
Okay.
us is pretty much
So
here.
yeah, so it's okay. We make the assumption that next Thursday and Friday we don't have Scrum and protocol, the 25th and the 26th.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And let me see. Hey Simon, I just wonder when you do testing and then look at the tickets, and do you have any questions for the team?
No, no, right now I don't have any question.
Okay. I don't have other topics. Do you guys have other topics?
Even I just had a quick question. So for the fix to the new screen device thing, so was it just like changing it from a native directory to a simple directory? Is that what fixed the issue?
Yeah.
Okay. So you like kind of explain to me, but I can understand how you figure that out. In case you run into an issue like that again, so I know at least where to start next time.
Yeah, I just ran into the document saying that uh, the NIO, the new IO package, doesn't really work well with future tasks. The future task is pretty similar to async tasks in Android, so they don't really recommend using NIO FS directory in this situation. I think it's a known bug in Lucene that they don't work well with future tasks in NIO implementation.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So thanks, Vin. Yeah, that's it from us. We don't have any questions.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, thanks.
Happy holiday.
Bye.
Bye.